who are creating more and more awareness about the sort of support and services that are available, not only to the people of Mandurah, but to people who are in need of support. Before we go on too much further, I'd like to introduce our good friend George. George Walley will come and do the welcome to country. Please welcome George.
Yanga. Yanga is a way of saying thank you. So Yanga, Nganjurupan Nganija, I'm happy that I'm here. And to do a Jurupan, this side of the waterway is called Didgeridoo. It comes from the base word Jurup or Jurupan. So if I'm saying I'm happy that I'm here, and there's another word that's similar from the base word to do with happiness, this space here that we meet on today for Mental Health Week and restarting or kick-starting or to do with Mandurah and our community, this place here, and I've said this on a number of other occasions as well, is an appropriate place because it is a happy space to do with being Jurupan, to do with being happy. And for those who don't know, you've got Didgeridoo up on this side, Mandurah Bay, and you've got Didalam up on the other side. There's all these Noongar names of places that have been in place. So when we look at the land beyond 200 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, those Noongar names were in place. They're still in place. We may not know them, but we're doing something positive in restoring those names. Because it's not the Noongar mob that took the names away, it's the Wedgell mob who come here and they put these other names. They changed Mandurah up to Mandurah. And that's okay, it's a lot easier to say. So when we meet in this space for such an important occasion to celebrate what we're doing as a community, as organisations in Mandurah and into the region itself, it's very significant that we acknowledge all those organisations that are doing something important and something positive. And so for all the, I think it's around 40 marquees set up from different businesses, different organisations, different groups, it's very significant that we acknowledge all the good work that you're doing. I work for Nidjalawanganmaya, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and GP down south operates Nidjalawanganmaya. And so the work that is done there through both GP down south as well as Nidjalawanganmaya is very important in the space to do with the physical health and helping our families to manage their own health. It's really important that that's done. That was identified from in the past as a low or poor health status, I should say, in this region of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. And that poor health status is not just the physical health, it's to do with the mental health. It's to do with that which is important to us and our connection with the land. So if there is a poor health status with the land, that impacts on our spiritual health, on our mental health, our health and well-being, because of that close connection with the land. And then the importance of, in the practical ways of the day-to-day life, how we go about our business of people who have been here 50,000 years. Okay? So all those Noongar names that you might see around the place, they are little stories that are part of the threading of stories in today's society with a greater community that we live and we share this land with. And isn't that a beautiful thing? That we're sharing. And we're taking responsibility, and in this instance, we're doing something about and helping those who need to be helped. I can say personally that when we were in working from home in that lockdown time of COVID, I didn't want to pick up the guitar for a long time. I forced myself to pick up the guitar to make your fingers stronger. I've got callus on one end, and that's me making myself do that. because it was difficult to say I want to play the guitar. And there are people who I guess are doing that nearly every day of our lives, going through difficult times, going through hardships. And how then do we help people, whether it's a little thing or a big thing? How do we? What do we say? And perhaps that's when that day that comes in and we say, are you okay? Those sort of things. Now, I've got to also apologise to Kay Williams because I said I'll bring the didge here. And I thought to do a welcome to country, to acknowledge, to also to advocate. And me speaking here, I am advocating for my ancestors. I'm advocating for the land that we live on because of that close connection, that sense of place, that sense of identity. So they're advocating for people from the past and people for today. It's really important that we work together, we walk together. In this space of uncertainty, in this space of the things that we know about that we can help in some small or big way to change. We need to walk together in that working together. Because if we can't do that now, how can our children and grandchildren do that in the future? We've got to pave the way for how we live in this place, this Mandurah. And Mandurah, as you probably know by now, has got 4 syllables. And Mandurah means meeting place of the heart. So that heartbeat in that word, that name, this place, is amazingly important because it defines what our ancestors wanted us to know. And it defines how we could go about our business today to do the heart stuff. And that's very significant. So to Kay Williams, I will go and get the didge a bit later and bring the didge back. But I wanted to say the words before the didge down the way. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful here this day, this time, and into the week moving forward, and every other day of the year. Okay? So have a good day. Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, we're not supposed to pop this.
the didgeridoo is about storytelling. Is that correct? And what you just played us, would that be a story that you could share with us today?
There's lots of different sounds that I was making in there. The gentle sounds, the sounds of acknowledging, and it's basically going from that which is nice and cruisy to the energetic sounds that you make to just identify that it's a change in the story, change in the energy, change in how you do things through the gigs. So it's really just a piece of wood, but on this piece of wood here, it's hollowed out by termites, as people may or may not know. The story on here has got a painting, but this story is, I got this didgeridoo from Arnhem Land over in Noongar. I was there at the Garma Festival a couple of years ago, and they've got a similar story. So this is 600 kilometres east of Darwin, and their story is a similar story to do with the rainbow serpent, shown on here. Okay, so it's pretty amazing that another language group, another nation of Aboriginal people, they've got a similar reference in story and belief system in their account, and the Dreamtime story that we have here. Different in lots of ways, but the fact that their main story is based on this rainbow serpent, the snake, in that commonness, I guess, is quite extraordinary. I don't know how to explain that one. So that's basically it.
Thanks, George. I think what's interesting there is the fact of the uniformity across the nation, and at the end of the day, the people themselves are united, even though they are different. They are united and they are similar. All right, thanks again. Big round of applause for George. That was